Hello and welcome. This is a Centrex demo on the Finance Dedicated Loan Origination Software Platform, or LOS, here at Centrex Software. Let's go ahead and get started. Here at Centrex Software, we are a large ecosystem of fintech products and services, CRM, LOS, backend servicing, digital wallets, mobile apps, and one of those products that we offer here at Centrex Software is an LOS, or Loan Origination Software System. Okay, so it doesn't matter what type of loan you're looking for, or type of loan you're offering at your finance organization. If you're a broker or a direct lending institution, Centrex Software has that LOS that handles all of those different types of products. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. The first thing that we always tell prospective clients here at Centrex Software is that Centrex can be dialed down to be very, very basic and very, very simple. You could have something very simple as a contacts tab and your loans tab and maybe your calendar, and that's it to start. Or you can have something far more elaborate like all the tabs you see here if you really want to run your entire finance business using the Centrex Software core operating system. Okay, but from a loan origination software platform, AI tells us that there are really 5 top key features that any prospective client would like to see in an LOS loan origination software platform. Those top 5 being end-to-end workflow and automation, credit and risk assessment tools, document management and electronic signature, compliance and regulatory features, and then lastly, integrations and APIs. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over each one of those real quick. End-to-end workflow and automation. Here at Centrex Software, if you decide to join us, in the contacts tab, you have a button here called workflow, and you would choose your file type depending on the type of lending product that you're offering. And we are going to give you a nice out-of-the-box stage and status workflow. You can always come in here and drag these stages and statuses up and down. You can color code these statuses to be anything you want. You can even click on a certain status and you can rename that status if you wish to do so. Okay, so we're really going to work with you closely and we're going to understand how do you process files through your company each day, and we're going to build out those stages and statuses. And then when it comes to automation on this workflow, if you jump over to the admin tab, you click on something called settings. We have a setting here called triggers. And in the Centrex Software platform, you have a very nice, well-built, robust, event-based trigger system. All right, so here's all your triggers. I can turn triggers on and off as I wish. But if I want to create a new trigger, and there's no triggers here, I can click on Create New Trigger. I can give it a trigger name, and then you have all the different types of events here in the Centrex Software system. Okay, the LOS has a lot of different events that can happen. A very common one is status change. So I can click on status change. I can decide what types of conditions that need to be met in order for this trigger to fire, and I can create different groups of conditions if I wish to do so, and I can change these from and to or, right? If I go from all to any here. Okay, and then I've got all the actions that I can fire here down below. I can send multiple actions with one trigger if I wish to do so. So maybe this first action is to send an email. Maybe the second action is to send a text message. And then maybe the third action is to execute a webhook or maybe create a task. Okay, so a lot of different automation that you can build out in the software platform by using the conditional-based trigger system to automatically fire off electronic signature, applications, documents, maybe pulling credit, maybe pulling some background checks, and all that comes back in the software automatically. Okay, so a lot of great automation you can build within the software. We also have integrations with Zapier and N8N as well, and you can build out automations that way within the platform. Okay, so if I come into the contacts tab, I have my contacts, which are my borrowers. I can come into a specific contact, and you can see here at any point, if I were to change the stage and status of this contact on file, you would be able to automatically fire off those different triggers and those different notifications. Okay, so that is end-to-end workflow automation. A lot of great things you can do with the contacts and or loans and or advances in the software with workflow automation. Okay, number 2, credit and risk assessment tools. So here at Centrex Software, at the contact level, you've got a tab called debts, and you can pull credit into the software, and that comes into the debts tab. You can see all of the debts on file. You've got a lot of different columns here on what that debt looks like. It also pulls in the score and the bureau that you pulled that data from. Okay, so a lot of great information on debts. You also have the PDF that comes from that bureau or from that reseller when it comes to pulling credit. We have several different types of credit report integrations in the software when it comes to pulling credit. What you can also do in an automated way, whether it's at the loan section or at the advanced section, is you can pull in background checks, you can pull in organizations like Plaid or Money Thumb, you can pull in different types of KYB, KYC processes, and all of that data can reside in the Centrex system under additional data at any point in time. And then, of course, the history tab will always track anything you've ever done for this contact at any point. Okay, so a lot of different areas where you can pull information in the system from third-party vendors. Okay, number 3, document management and electronic signature. Okay, so if we're in the contacts here and I click on Docs, here at Centrex Software, you've got 3 tabs within Docs. You've got generated docs, you've got your click sign docs, which is electronic signature, and you've got uploaded files. Okay, in order to generate a document, the very first thing we've done is in the Master Docs tab here at the top, we've built your doc templates into the software platform. Okay, so you can come in here, you can look at your document templates. We can drag and drop different fields over these document templates. This can be any document, the 1003 for residential mortgage, any legal document, power of attorney. It doesn't matter what it is. You can upload that document here. We can drag and drop the different types of fields that we need, and the system entertains up to 9 different signers. And then you've got some compliance items over here on the far left as far as what states are this doc's good for, what file type, who do you want to share it with, and we build those doc templates in the Docs tab in the software. Okay, so back to the Contacts tab. If we come back into Al's Laundry Service here, our business borrower, and we click on Docs, you can see all of the generated docs that have been generated, any docs that have been sent out for e-sign, and any docs that have been uploaded. So if I want to generate a document and pre-populate data, here in the top right, I've got Generate Document. That's going to go ahead and pop what we call our Generate Document modal. And you have the ability to send for electronic signature or just generate the document if all you want to do is generate a PDF on file. But if I want to send for electronic signature, I can choose my template or my package. The package is great because it sends out multiple documents as one big long e-sign document. So you can come here, you can choose your template. The system is going to look for signers. You can turn off signer 2 or signer 3. Here is your email message. I can choose to send for SMS if I wish to do so, and I can send for electronic signature. Okay, so the generated document is always here under generated docs, and you can always come in here and view, download, or delete. Your click sign documents, your e-sign docs have statuses. So completed, expired. You'll see some here that say document opened, document viewed. Once it's been completed, I can come in here, I can view details. I can see the IP address of who sent this document for e-sign. I can see the IP address of who signed this document. And then if I wish to do so, I can view this document and you will see the digital certificate on the back end of that document. That is a legally stamped document. Okay, and then you've got uploaded files here in Centrex Software as well. Okay, so you can drag and drop documents here. You can grant access to a customer portal to your customers. They can upload documents there. If your clients are using our mobile app technology, they can upload documents there. And then, of course, via API or through a web form, documents can also be uploaded into the software. Okay, if I come to the loan on file for Al's Laundry Service, so here is a loan. Let's go ahead and jump into this loan. You have the same document management technology at the loan level. So if I come to documents, here are my generated documents for this contact, my click sign documents, my uploaded files, and as always, at any point, I can click on Generate Documents. It generates that same modal, or I can upload file from my local hard drive. Okay, so the document repository resides both at the contact level and then, of course, for any loans and or advances that you may be working at this contact level. Okay, so the documents reside in both places. Okay, so a lot of great document technology here at Centrex Software and ways to get documents inside the software platform. Okay, number 4, you've got compliance and regulatory features. So here at Centrex Software, first and foremost, when it comes to building out your documents, you've got some state filters. Okay, so when we build out your documents in the beginning, what states are these documents good for? And then we can pre-populate data based on states with some custom data points and dynamic tags down here at the bottom. Okay, so you've got some regulatory help here from Centrex Software when it comes to your documents and what state those documents belong with. Okay, some other regulatory items here at Centrex Software. In the admin tab, we have a permission system that go 2 layers deep for security. Okay, so if I come into roles, the very first level of permissions is you can create your custom roles, and you got all your custom role names here. And you can see here are all the different things you can and cannot do within the software platform. Okay, so very expansive when it comes to what you can and cannot do. The second layer deep was what I call data suppression or field level permissions. So if I click here, I can create a profile, right? I can then associate that profile to a company, a role, or a user in the software. And as I start checking boxes, I am essentially suppressing that data in the software from this profile associated to these roles. Okay, so another great way where you've got some restrictions on what staff members can and cannot see when it comes to either PII information or other sensitive information in the software platform. Okay, what we also have for access is under the admin tab under settings, we have a tab here called access control. So if I click on access control, you've got two sections here. You've got one called IP whitelisting. I can turn this on. I can whitelist a series of IPs or users or CIDR blocks. You've got some options here so that when staff members go home or they go on vacation, they cannot log into the software. Okay, so that's up to you. What you also have is two-factor authentication, right? How easy do you want to make it to access the software platform? You can turn this on for each one of your companies or each one of your users in the software as well. Okay, and then lastly, for compliance here and regulatory items, we've got something called usage in the platform. So at any time, if you want to see page views, if you want to see user logins, if you want to see any sort of usage in the software platform from your staff, you can come in here, you can build out different types of logging reports, and you can see the different types of usage in the platform. Okay, so that's just a handful of some of the compliance and regulatory features that we have here within the Centrex software platform. Okay, and then lastly, we've got integrations and APIs. If you come over to the Centrex software website and you click on integrations, we've got several different types of natively built integrations within the Centrex platform. It depends if you're looking for payment processing, identity management, automation. Maybe you'd like some digital wallets. Are you trying to pull financial data, credit reporting, phone systems, right? So a lot of great different types of integrations in the software platform. If you do not see a vendor that you work with when it comes to our native integrations, here at Centrex Software, we have a very well-built and well-documented API. Okay, so for example, if you want to send out electronic signature via API or upload a document via API, you have those endpoints and you can do that. Okay, so you can come in here, you can view the entire documentation for Centrex API, or you can view on some of our more popular endpoints, and that'll take you right to that endpoint for the API. Okay, so Centrex Software works with a lot of organizations that like to build outside the core operating system, use our core operating system as a hub to house a lot of the information, a lot of the documents, a lot of the processes, and then use external portals and external features to run the business. Okay, so back in the Centrex software platform, you have that in the admin tab as well, and that's all available to you. Okay, at the contact level, inside a contact for a good loan origination system, you have a lot of different features here, from loans and advances on file, any calls you guys have made to the client, any phone number you click on. You can schedule phone calls. You have phone system integrations. Any emails that you send to the client, you guys can always see the emails, see when the client opened the email. You've got notes if you want to take notes and notify other users on notes. You've also got something called note templates built in the software platform as well. You've got email marketing built in the software platform if you guys want to do email marketing to your clients. You've got completely threaded text messaging built in the software. So if you guys want to text clients back and forth, you can do that. We talked about docs. You guys have a full event system built in the software for your calendar events, and you have a full task manager as well. Okay, so a lot of great features here when it comes to an LOS system for your finance organization. If you would like a more detailed overview of the Centrex software platform, not a problem. Go ahead and schedule some time with a Centrex software specialist by clicking on Request a Demo on the Centrex software website. A lot of different places you can do that, and a Centrex software specialist will be in contact with you shortly. This is a Centrex software demo on the loan origination software platform here at Centrex Software.